let's go see what's actually growing in the hay bales. What is that they say about never working with children or animals? The boys would like their peas. Excuse you. Oh my goodness, pardon me. I didn't, wasn't me, it was the donkey. I'll see you down in the hay bales in just a second. Hi, I'm Amy. Welcome back to Hummingbird Hill, and we are going to take a look at the hay bale end of the garden today. This is just an update for the 2019 Straw Bale Garden Collaboration. Now, I know I said that I am going to be looking at the hay bales, but I'm the odd person out. That's right, I'm growing in hay, and right now things are actually looking up. Let's go take a look. Okay, here we are down with the hay bales, and as you can see, the Thumbergia is looking gorgeous. I at least have something climbing up over my trellises, but I got a few more things that are starting as well. So we're just going to take a look, and the first thing I want to talk about, I'm going to flip you around and talk to you about the drip system. I have never had a drip system in a garden before. Love it. This one still needs some tinkering with, and I'll tell you why in just a second. Let me flip you around. So when my uncle came to visit, he ran this black tubing into the garden. There's a connector over by the grapes where I can split off a hose and then also connect to the line. Now the black tubing has no drips automatically, but I had already purchased some brown tubing that has drips every couple of feet. I got it in clearance in January, and I didn't know what I was going to use it before, but it's like, let's try it. So that's what I actually wanted to use. So I cut off the black tubing here and joined it, spliced it together with just a little connector that I purchased on clearance as well, and joined it to the brown tubing. Now I did that splice when it was 100 degrees out, and it was super easy to get the connector, the join, into the black tubing. However, it has not been that warm since. So I've been trying to get rid of places where I've got some drip hose and other places where things are coming across the path and there are some drip. Now this one's not too bad. It only has 2 little drip spots in the path. This one, actually, I took and I cut the drips off and then spliced them together with some joins. So there's actually no dripping here in the aisle, which is nice. But this big drip right here, yes, you're a big drip, I'm telling you. This is a big piece of drip tubing because we were trying to get the square bales, and that's actually the thing that's working best for them. It's a little wasteful, but for the most part, except for right here, it's not terrible. I want to splice this and connect this with the black hose that has no tubing, no drip holes already installed, so it's solid, and so then I will have no water coming here across the path. However, that black tubing is seriously tough, and so I've had it sitting out here in the garden. I've had these pieces sitting out here for about 3 weeks, trying to get them hot enough so I can actually insert the little couplers that go together between the pieces of tubing. And it has not been hot enough. These will not expand. Now I know I could probably bring out a hair dryer if I had one, except I never dry my hair, so I don't have a hair dryer, or some other heat source, and try and heat them up that way so that they'll expand and take the coupler, but haven't done it, and I'm just kind of waiting until it's actually warm again to get those put together. But the drip system is a lifesaver. It is so much nicer just to turn on one little nozzle and see what's going. Hey, Spot. So, okay, let's start here with broccoli and we'll go around the edge. So right here, the broccoli is looking beautiful. At least one. I've got one nice good head. And by now, normally, again, I keep saying that by now it's a strange year. Normally I have this. Now, normally I have eaten all the large heads of broccoli and I'm just picking little sprouts. But usually I can keep my broccoli going through August, even when it's super hot. There's still some bug damage going on. I do need to get some more Sluggo, I think, and sprinkle, or get some beer traps out here. I still keep forgetting to buy beer because it's just never on my list when I go to the store. Not that I don't like it, I just don't buy it. So the broccoli is looking good though. I'm very pleased with this. The peppers, as you can see, have kind of been taken over by grass, and these were doing so poorly that I wasn't sure they were going to make it. Now they are coming on, they're getting bigger. I don't know if I'm going to have any fruit from them. The marigolds here are perking up. This whole bale is doing way better than it was. Oh, look, there's another tiny broccoli there. Nice. This is doing so much better than it was, but I'm not sure that we'll have enough heat for the peppers this year. So at least down here in the bales, just kind of see what happens. But they are looking so much better. This one was almost gone. And that, I think, that's not a Zulu, that might be a chocolate. I have 3 different kinds of peppers going. Now here are some zucchini. And these are kind of spindly still, but they're getting so much better. As you'll notice as we walk along, I do have weeds, even though I have the cardboard with hay down. Oh, and we have geese flying over in the middle of summer in Oregon. That should tell you how weird our weather is. They stayed here actually all winter as well. They did not fly south because our winter was so mild, which is one reason why we have so many bugs. And then they have not gone north. Not all of them, at least. Such a weird year. Anyway, so I do have some big weeds that I just need to come and pull, and I have been throughout. But I also, as you'll see, because this was the potato end of the garden, I have many, many volunteer potatoes growing up around the garden, and I'm just letting them grow. They've been weed whacked in a couple of places more than once, and they keep coming back, so I'm loving that. There is a gigantic weed down there I need to get out. So definitely Christine from Straw Bale Garden Australia, her observation that I needed to overlap my cardboard more was definitely right on. I was very low on cardboard, however, so I skimped. So if you're going to use cardboard as weed barrier, it's working beautifully on the hill where I overlapped it a ton. Do not skimp on your cardboard. So anyway, these are looking all right. I haven't had any fruit from these yet, and I put in a lot of zucchini just because we love grilled zucchini, and I wasn't sure what it would do. As you can see, my Chinese pink celery, I am letting go to seed here, and I have some others that I probably need to pull out and put in my new ones. If you did not see my video about the celery of my dreams, I will put a link up above somewhere so you can click on it and you'll find out what I learned about Chinese pink celery. It's so easy to grow. At least I had great success growing it. It transplanted beautifully. I started it from seed inside in January, and this has grown so gorgeously. I mean, this was a beautiful plant, and it's still gorgeous going to seed. But yeah, so watch that video, see why that's going to seed and why I'm letting it go. So here is the only plant that I have picked a zucchini from, and as you can see, there's another zucchini right there. So 2 zucchinis by mid-July. Yes, that's the kind of year we're having. So bizarre. Again, this potato has been weed whacked more than once. It's growing back. Now, I don't know if those are actually potatoes or if there's a weed that grows here that looks mighty like potatoes. But I figure I'm just gonna let them go until the potatoes that I know are potatoes. See, those potatoes down there are flowering and they're beautiful. So I'm gonna wait until those look like they're ready to pick. The flowers are still beautiful. They haven't started to wither. And then I'll start digging for potatoes and see what I find. This bale has marigolds in it, which is fine since it is being taken over by the squash plant next door, and this zucchini plant is trying to get there as well. This is a very congested corner, and there's also some blackberries back there that I keep cutting back and they keep growing. But this squash, as you can see, is coming all the way across here and onto this hay bale, and it has decided it's going to decorate my trellis for me. So this squash now is heading up the trellis, which is a perfect place for it as long as I can either step over or go around. So I've made myself a little like a moat in this X section, so I just see where it's going. All right, there are also some cucumbers growing here. I've got some bait alphas here. I think that's either a little potato. I think that's a little potato, and those are starting to pick up and do beautifully again. In a normal year, I would have been picking cucumbers for about a month, or at least in the last 4 normal years. What I'm realizing is, hold on, let me turn you around for a second. What I'm realizing about the weather is this is actually what summers used to be like in Oregon. The last 4 years we've had extreme heat from May through almost October into September, where it's been in the 90s for 4 months straight with barely any rain. So this summer is actually kind of a normal Oregon summer. We didn't used to get to pick tomatoes until, you know, closer to August, which is probably when I'll start picking tomatoes. So yeah. So got some cucumbers going. This is the red Russian kale that I purchased from the store. It's organic. It's on sale, or it was on sale. It is getting some bug attacks here, mostly because I have not been picking it enough, because there was a whole tray of like a 6-pack in like those little 1-inch squares, and each tray had like 3 in the 1-inch square. So I have way too much red Russian kale. However, this stuff is delicious, just picked, sauteed with just a little bit of garlic and some onion, and it's so good. It's nice and tender, and it's not as bitter as regular kale. So I'm loving this stuff. It's also good in salad, and you don't have to beat it as much as you do regular kale. Here, this may be the little potato cucumber, or it may be some lemon cucumbers finally growing. I think I'm gonna have way too many lemon cucumbers. I kept planting them because mine did not do well once I moved them out here. You know, if you've watched the videos, you know why. But I kept planting seeds, and then I got some starts from the nursery on clearance. But yeah. Oh, look at here. Isn't this starting to look pretty? So I've got some beans that are starting to grow up the vine, and they are almost to the top as well. And those are beans that I'm just calling Aunt Susie's beans because she gave them to me, and I can never remember what kind they are. But I will find out the name and let you know. The Thumbergia there is doing great. These are also, I just bought, because my beans were not performing well, this whole bale here had beans in it, and they were the Chinese snake beans, and those did not make it. And I had donated, there were only 5 seeds in the pack, and I had donated the rest. I had planted 3, and I think I donated 2 to the school because I thought the students would really love to see those grow. And of course, then it's just kind of too late to go back and try and get more. So next year, maybe I'll try those. We'll see how they go. I know a lot of people are growing them this year because they were new in the catalog, and I ordered mine back in September and was so excited about them. And yeah, I don't get any. Oh well, I'll watch other people and enjoy that. So I've got some string beans. Those are just regular green beans. And over here on this trellis, this is a lemon cucumber. At least I think so. But I have no idea what I put there. What is that? And I know I had the tag in there, but cats, they like to help me redecorate, so I have no idea what that lovely plant is. Could be a melon, it could be a cucumber, but whatever it is super happy right now, and it is taking over the sweet potato that is in there. I have no idea when to pick sweet potatoes, so I'm just going with it. Now on this end, the Brad's Atomic Grape, this was just an extra one that I had left over from the sick bay, and I donated a whole bunch of those plants once my tomatoes established down in the other end, and I was feeling good about them. I donated them to the school garden program. But I had this one extra Brad's Atomic Grape that I kept because my one down on that end has always been looking spindly. So that one started to pick up, and I just popped this in the hay bale when this was all beans and peas, and I've had no peas this year at all. No peas whatsoever, except my snap peas, thank goodness, because I love those. So do the donkeys, and so do the dogs. Everybody loves the snap peas. So this I actually need to come single stem because it has established itself so well. It's doing great, and I need to get it back over onto the trellis. This Thumbergia I purchased at the store because, again, the beans weren't growing and I wanted something to come up, and I thought the white would be pretty with the orange down there. But it is not really taking to growing up the trellis. It was grown kind of in a loop and a clump, and I've had trouble separating it out. Cat, oh, you get out of there. You better not be going potty. Oh, cats. I know, you go in the beds too. You're terrible. It's so gross. Anyway, they usually don't go in the beds, but oh. You just went potty, I think. I'm so mad at you. All right. It's a good thing you're cute. So marigolds, nice crop of grass, a log to help hold the drip in place because, of course, I'm trying to use the U stakes, and they're really not holding into the hay at all. This is I think it's an Aunt Molly's ground cherry, and I tried them, I think, last year, and they didn't do terribly well. This one's taken off. It's getting huge. It's amazing. It's starting to get some little fruit thingies on them. Look at those. So I'm excited about that. Oh, look at this. The eggplants. I love grilled eggplant. Next to grilled zucchini are also, oh my gosh, both of zucchini and eggplant with a little bit of flour and some cornflake crumb crust, fried, and then with just eaten nice and hot. They're just delicious. So I'm hoping these eggplants are going to produce. Last year I grew a kind of eggplant that, oh, hold on. I see an eggplant. Wait, oh, look. I have an eggplant. Oh, I'm so excited. I don't let them get too much bigger than that. Probably about 2 to 3 more inches. because that way they are nice and tender when you fry them and you don't have to do any other prep with them. They're just ready to go. So they are delicious. Oh, I'm so excited about that. Oh, I'm skipping ahead, sorry. I got just, ooh, there's so many. I'm gonna be rolling in eggplants in a minute. These are the dragon tongue bush beans, and as you remember, if you saw the beginning of the hay bales, these were the first plants that came up. They were the first seeds I planted out here and they were doing great. And then we had the weather and bugs, and of course there are still some bug bites. Like I said, I don't care if I have a few bug bites on my leaves. That's never really bothered me. I've never really used pest control until this year and a little bit last year. So yeah, I don't care if the leaves aren't super pretty. The beans are fine. And I just picked a whole bunch to grill up for lunch today for Mama and I and Papa. And I don't think there are that many. I probably got them all. So I'll just show you a picture of the bowl because, yeah, I picked some. I picked 3 different kinds, and these are doing great. So they're producing well. As you can see, this bale has compressed itself almost to the ground. Everything's still growing beautifully. Some of these are, you know, they're in much better shape. And this one has just very much decomposed, and that's great. This will be a lovely spot. I'll gather that up and use that next year. This is the first time I've grown cabbage, and it's, you know, July, which is when things shouldn't be going, but look at this head of cabbage. Isn't it pretty? I think it's about time to pick it. Look at how pretty that is. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. This one's doing really well. Now again, it's had some bug problems around the outer leaves, and they're starting to get some here, so I do need to bring some sluggo and probably some beer traps. This one is a little smaller, which I love because I'll pick this one first and then I won't have to pick this one right away. I can let it keep growing. That way I don't have to try and eat all the cabbage, so much cabbage. Though cabbage is delicious in anything. Put it in a stir fry, grill it. Oh, so good. And my aunt makes something called halushkis, which uses cabbage and makes some noodles, and I love them. Now this is a spaghetti squash, and as you can see, hold on, it is, well, kind of massive, which I knew it would be. Christine said I needed to trellis it, and I'm like, now just jump over it, which is what I've been doing. Hold on a sec, I'm gonna cough. There we go. And I do have some spaghetti squash down here. Oh my gosh, oh wow. That got so huge. I think that might be ready to pick. How do you know when a spaghetti squash is picked? All I know is I need to keep an eye on Basil Bell because the first and last time I grew spaghetti squash, she stole my spaghetti squash when it was about that size. Hold on. Oops, sorry. When it was about that size, I turned my back and I had looked at it, and then I went back and it was missing, and I heard this chomping. Miss Basil Bell was out there eating my spaghetti squash. So I think it needs to probably get a little more yellow, but yep. And this plant is definitely taking over. This is my other celery bale, and I'm totally fine with it being taken over by this plant. Again, watch the celery story and you'll know why. Coming over to this lovely square, these are the barlotti beans that I got from Emma Gardner, and those are delicious. Again, I do need to come out again with some more bug control, but these are great, and I think they're supposed to be a little more mottled like the dragon tongue bush beans, but because we had a big windstorm and a rainstorm that kind of knocked the plants all this way over into the center, and so they're not getting as much light. They're still producing beautifully and taste great. So not worried about that terribly. This I put in just a bean plant and it is taking off. I put that in about 2 weeks ago. Again, got it in clearance at the store because my beans were not doing terribly well, and now everything's doing well. And as you can see, this is a crazy, crazy set of bales. I have massive potato plants coming up in the middle. If you saw my last video, you know I have a rogue tomato plant coming up that I'm probably going to try and single stem and get it. It's almost reaching up to the trellis. I'm probably going to try and single stem it and get it over to the trellis so it has some support. There are sweet potatoes in the middle over here. And as you can see, this beautiful vine, look at how gorgeous that is. So they're finding sun, doing whatever they need to. There were turnips in this bale, and I think there's actually still one in there. I've never grown turnips before, and I kind of missed the window. They got a little woody because I wasn't sure when to pick them. I wasn't sure if they were ripe, and I had no radishes. So I actually had some runder radishes down here, and I have had no radishes perform well this year, which is sad because I love radishes, and I wanted to try roasted radishes because Jessica at Roots and Refuge says they're delicious, and I so wanted to try them, but alas, this year, no fresh roasted radishes for me. The lettuce, as you can see, is doing great. There is one auroch plant that has come up. Oh, I've got some heads I actually need to pick. I've been doing cut and come again, but I have actually quite a bit of lettuce. At first it wasn't growing, so I planted more, and now it's growing beautifully. This is the only one that is really going to seed, and that's okay. I'm okay with it going. The donkeys love it. I just pick off the part, even if it's bitter, and the donkeys eat it. This one kind of got, I don't know what this was. This was some sort of lettuce, and I don't remember planting that kind, so I just give it to the donkeys. They eat it. Sorry. Let's go back over here. Oh, I need to put water in the bird bath. Let's see what else is over here. Oh, and I have, look at, can you see? Hold on. Let's see. Kohlrabi. I don't know when to pick kohlrabi. I've grown it once before and it did well. It was the first time I did it. Someone gave me the seeds and I tried it. I didn't know what it was. Then I tried to grow it again and it didn't work out so well. So these, I'm really excited how well they're performing in the bales, despite all of the crazy stuff that's gone on this year. It's amazing how resilient a garden is. I mean, oh, come on, babe. Look at this thing. Oh, see that? That's tall. That thing, because it's growing from way down there, that's probably taller than some of my plants down in the raised bed area. Oh my gosh. Craziness. All right, let's swing around here. So this is a cantaloupe that has almost died like 3 times. And look at how crazy. So the stem is way back here, and this stem is basically almost dead. But the plant keeps growing, and it just keeps growing, and it's got some flowers. It's just doing its thing, and I'm letting it. There are some marigolds that are performing brilliantly in some spots and not so well in others. Again, one of the best plants in the garden right now are the rogue potatoes. Besides, look at those flowers. Aren't they gorgeous? Oh my goodness, so pretty. So pretty. I just love the flowers in the garden as things are growing. Some more marigolds, and then the Tiny Tim tomatoes that were left for dead, that the frost got, that fought their way back, are super producing right now. Nothing's ripe. I haven't tasted one yet. This one is the one that was stunted for like a month and a half and finally grew back, and it's obviously behind these other 2. But oh my gosh, I'm so glad that I did not pull them out. And I'm so glad this one was the one that stayed, but it wasn't doing terribly well. But I've gotten the nutrients balanced, and it's doing all right. So coming over here, some cabbage, sorry. This is some cabbage, some, what is it, Chinese red dragon. There's a lot of dragons involved in anything that says Chinese. The bugs have been getting these. I got those again on clearance, and they're doing amazingly. They were like this big when I got them, and then didn't do so well because I put them in right when it was 100 degrees. I didn't know it was going to be 100 degrees, but it was. Not since then. So they really all kind of faded, but they are doing really well. And I've actually been using this one kind of as a cut and come again because it's so big and I don't want it to overtake the tomatoes. So I've just been pulling off the outside leaves and using them in stir fries and cooking them like that. Fairly tasty. It doesn't taste exactly the same as other cabbage. They are supposed to make heads. So this one's doing all right. The outside leaves need pulled. This is the one that's doing the best. It's gorgeous. And over there's another plant. So I may have overplanted the bales just a little bit. That's what I'm thinking. There may be a little bit of overcrowding, but everything is doing so well right now that I'm so excited. If you can't tell, I'm talking a mile a minute. Plus, I'm trying to make this not super long, which is why we won't be talking about the raised bed end of the garden right now. Here, let me flip you. Okay, so I don't know if you can tell, but I'm so excited about what's going on in the hay bales right now. This has been a crazy, weird gardening year. There's been a lot of stuff going on. My life's been kind of crazy, I mean, for more than a few years. So I love trying new things, I always have, but I'm really enjoying trying this new thing that's going so well right now. Now, there are ups and downs with the garden, there always are, and just having that belief that everything's gonna turn out right helps so much. Because the garden, like I said, the seeds want to grow. And as long as I don't give up on them, they're going to do their best. And so that's what I'm doing. I hope that your garden is going beautifully, that you have things you're excited about. I have never done straw bale, hay bale gardening before, and definitely have made some mistakes along the way, but I'm really excited to give you this update where everything right now is going so well. So I hope everything is going beautifully for you. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. And if you are enjoying this video, think about giving a thumbs up, because apparently there's an algorithm thing and it likes that. If you leave comments, it makes it happy too. Who knew that like an algorithm needed to be made happy? It's kind of creepy, just saying. Also, linked down below are the other folks who are involved in the Straw Bale Garden Collaboration. So if you are interested in what is this straw bale stuff, what is she talking about, I will put at the end of the video my playlist about my straw bale garden process and what I started doing this year with my hay bales, because I'm the odd person out. But you can also take a look. There are a couple people who have done straw bale gardening way longer than I ever have, and who know a ton and who I'm getting advice from, and they're super sweet. And then there are some other newbies who have their own challenges based on weather, because it's been crazy weather this year, in case you hadn't noticed wherever you're living. But there has been some weird weather. So check those people out down below, say hello to them. And I know one of them, Linda, who just had to move her straw bales, and that looked like it went really well. So you should check out and see, like, she even moved her garden. It was portable. That's kind of amazing. So go out, give her some love, say hello to the other people. And if you're just stopping by here for the first time, hey, thank you so much for joining me. I talked super fast in this one. I don't always talk this fast. Okay, sometimes I do, but not always. Anyway, you should come back again, and next time we'll take a look down at the raised bale end of the garden. We also need to check in back behind the upper house and the weedy hill, and there's so many things to look at right now. I mean, it is the middle of summer, and it's acting like the middle of the summer, or, well, kind of like spring. But we're just going with it. Anyway, thank you so much again for joining me, and I hope you'll come back so that we can do some more growing together. Bye! Figure. That thing was racing me for a second. Oh my gosh, I have to be so careful on this road. That is a baby. And I don't know where its mama is, but the babies have trouble jumping over these fences, so they get stuck on. Hi, sweetheart, I'm not gonna get ya. Oh. But the babies have trouble jumping over the fences, and the mamas leave them, and it makes me so worried. It's okay, little thing. I'm not gonna get ya. So I don't know where this one's mama is, but it's looking for her. This could take a while before we actually get to the house. So this blackbird is going to go try and jump, and so then I'll end up running into the fence. Oh, poor little thing. There's a place where it finds it. It can go under. There's an electric fence on the neighbors. But oh, they run into the fence, and it's heartbreaking. And there's all these blackberry brambles, and they get scared. And I don't want to chase this one down towards the neighbors, because if their dogs are out, it will not be good. Come on, sweetie. You come back this way. See, it's trying to get under the fence right there. Poor little thing. You come this way, I'll stop. You see him? There we are. Come on, sweetheart. You're fine. I'm going to stop right here. Oh, it's so scared. It wants its mama, and I don't know how to help it in this case. Don't go down that way. Yeah, if you go down that way actually far enough, you're going to find the fence. You can do it, baby. I was hoping it would come past me this way, because its mama's back somewhere in that field is my guess. Over here. That's where this baby needs to go. They hang out down under the neighbor's this way. I don't know if you can go on that side, sweetheart. Oh, sweetie, you're so nervous. I know. I know, baby thing. I know. Oh, honey. You're okay. I'm gonna stay right here. Here, let me turn off the car. There we go, baby. There we go. You can walk past me. I'll stay right here, sweetheart. Yes, you can do it. I don't know if you can... Oh, hold on. We're super close right now. Oh, come back this way, baby. You can go past me. Go get your mama. Oh, I don't know what to do with this little guy. Come on, you go past me. I turned off the car and the air conditioning, so it's warm. Wonder if I go out and if I go out, it's gonna circle around the wrong way. Come on, baby thing, you can do it. Don't try and jump that fence because you won't make it. You're too little. Oh, sugar. Oh my goodness, it just squeezed itself. Oh my gosh, honey. Well, you're okay, baby. You did good. I don't know how it squeezed through that tiny hole in that fence, but that was impressive as all heck. I don't know if you can see him now. He's back there looking for mama, but he's hiding from me in those bushes. I have no idea how that deer squeezed through that fence. Look at how small those holes are. That's cattle panel size, I think. Oh, baby, I hope you didn't hurt yourself. He's walking fine. Go find your mama. Mama hangs out usually down under... Hold on. Where'd they go? I don't know if you can see. I'm zoomed out. Under those trees, those big trees. Right over there. There we go. Like I can't see what you can see. I've never seen a deer squeeze through a hole so small. That was crazy. All right, well, on that note, let's go home. Oh, poor babies. Oh, I mean, helps to put the car in park to start it up again. All right, well, that was an adventure coming home. Poor little thing. We have had recently, the neighbors have posted all these signs about no hunting and that there are video cameras, which of course, well, there may be video cameras because the neighbors are like that. Because there have been people out here trying to hunt the deer, which is disgusting. I mean, yeah, if you're gonna go hunting, get your tags and go, and then venison is delicious. I mean, chow down, that is tasty stuff. But don't be coming into a neighborhood and shooting the herd that's out here. And of course I might think differently if the deer ever got into my garden, but they pretty much avoid our place because we have dogs. And the gentleman folks like to, you know, go potty outside, which also deters the deer. You know, it's the country. People do these things. All right, I'm gonna turn you off because I'm driving.